The thing that's really interesting to me is here's the truth. So many men who abuse pornography, right? It affects their sexual performance. It affects how they show up in relationships, and it builds shame, right? So many men struggle with sexual performance. That's not a new thing. But what is new, and I think quite concerning, is how many of those men are under the age of 40. They turn to Cialis, Viagra, or testosterone replacement therapy, thinking that something's wrong with them physically. When the truth is, and the reality is their sexual dysfunction is probably caused by all the porn they're consuming. So heavy porn use can rewire the brain. And even my own story.
Is that true?
Heavy porn use can rewire the brain and cause all types of problems in the bedroom. Like even in my own story, right? I had difficulty getting and maintaining an erection during sex, especially with a partner. I had difficulty orgasming towards the end of my run with pornography. I had difficulty maintaining an erection, and I needed porn stimulation to stay aroused. And heavy porn use can absolutely lead to premature ejaculation. You know, one of the things I didn't share in my story, which is important to talk about, right? Because there's probably a bunch of your listeners right now listening, waiting for someone to tell the damn truth. You know, when I first started consuming porn early in my life, before that relationship, I struggled with premature ejaculation. And I had so much shame and embarrassment around it. I got to a point where I'd rather not be with a woman than be with a woman and have that type of sexual performance.
You feel like you were just so nervous about sex? I mean, it makes sense. Sex is a nervous thing for
I'll tell you a few things.
For a youngster.
I didn't realize a few things.
For the children, sex is nervous for the children, you know? It's a nervous thing.
Even for adults.
Yeah.
And so what I didn't realize at that time was that all the porn that I was consuming and the way that I was actually masturbating to it kind of conditioned my brain to orgasm quickly, and that carried over to real life scenarios. I didn't realize at that time that the intense porn that I was watching so overstimulated my brain, leading to early orgasm.
Wow.
So my porn use was tied to shame and secrecy, which fueled kind of anxiety around sex, making it kind of uncomfortable. And you know, porn was the cause of this.
Yeah.
So that's one area, men, not so manly when you think about, hey, you know, is it really that cool?
Right.
Second challenge that guys tend to have, it can totally affect how guys show up in relationships.
Oh yeah, dude. Watching like touching your body or whatever, jerking off or whatever, it was like it just made it easier than having to go and try with women and having to go and have a relationship. It made it all just easier. And if you came from for me, there was so much, it was so uncomfortable that I was like, I guess I had a choice, but it just was too much of a easy alternative. It was like, I don't know how, like, you know, I'm so embarrassed, or I'm so just have so low self-worth, so many little things. They're like, man, I can't go ask this girl out or do, you know. So it became this little thing. And then this was the part that I was going to get that you made me think about. Sorry. Everything about sex felt like a secret, right? Like it was always like when I was growing up, we would go in the woods and see the tits or whatever chiseled in the wood or whatever. Or you would sneak into
Is that still around, you think?
I'm sure it's been. No, I think they had weevils or whatever got it.
Those damn weevils.
I think it was that. I can't remember exactly. I have to look it up.
Okay.
Or it could have been one of those new ticks that Bill Gates unleashed or whatever. But so whatever, I'm sure it's gone these days.
Right.
Or it's really, it's eroded to an A cup, you know, for sure.
And what's the point to visit it then, right? Come on.
At the time, those things
That's
were,
right. I'm not making a road trip for an A cup.
Dude, they had a woodpecker would land on one of them. That's big.
Pretty nice.
But dude, the biggest thing when I think about, like, it was just like everything was sex when I was young became like secretive. It became like secretive because, yeah, if you were looking at pornography, she was doing masturbation, you was sneaking off and doing it. So everything became secretive. So then like everything, like even when like dating, I never want anybody to know I was very secretive about stuff. So it always had all this like a little bit of extra like kind of taboo around it, I think. I don't even know what that means, but it was just like, you know, when things are in secret, it's you know, things in secret can be kind of uncomfortable. Things you're always trying to hide can be kind of uncomfortable.
That's right. And I think also that secrecy can lead to shame.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well you're always, if something's in secret, you're always worried somebody's going to find out about
That's
something.
right.
And I didn't have any positive like relationship with sex, or no, like I didn't have any, not like nobody taught me it, told me nothing about it. It was just like your body, you change, and then you're like dealing with it. And
I mean, I'm still waiting to get the birds and beats conversation from Dad. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah, they should just have a decent man that travels around the country, helping just have the birds and the bees conversation.
Like a temporary rent-a-dad to have the conversation with you when you're like 12.
Yeah, just like some wiener Santa or whatever who he travels around, he pulls up, you know what I'm saying? Do it outside where it's in view of, where the Lord can see it. But anyway, you were going into a second part about
relationships,
how it affects relationships. And dude, I'll even remember like if I'd been like, you know, touching myself or whatever, or jerking off or whatever like that, then I would, you're right when you said it's like, it changed the amount of intimacy. Now it's like if my girl and I are going somewhere, maybe I wouldn't touch her elbow or like, you know what I'm saying? Or like give her a pinch or like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't create that energy. So a lot of that energy disappears. And that's the thing I think that, we don't realize a lot. It's that little like that yin and yang, that whole thing that keeps like nature and society and really the future because of procreation, which keeps it all in balance, is this kind of tension, right? A romantic kind of like samba between like her aura and mine, and pornography like weakens that. And then you're right, people take into their head, like a woman will take in her head like, oh, something's wrong with me, or he thinks I'm not this way, or I can't do these things, which is a net, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's a tough cycle. And I think a lot of it does fall on us men because we got to be stronger, you know? I'm not saying that I'm great at it or anything, but I do think that somebody's got to come to the rescue of us. And I think it has to be us.
Well, no one's coming to rescue us, right? You got to take accountability in your own life. But I think you really eloquently kind of laid out the dynamics that porn abuse can have in relationships.
Did I really?
You really did. That was really well said. And, you know.
Well, I feel bad about some of the, I feel like, dang, I wasted a couple of relationships. I wasted some, and I wasted somebody's time, and I wasted like, and I didn't even know it. But yeah, some of that.
You know it now. The only way you learn and grow.
Yeah.
And, you know, what you often see when men abuse porn over time, they can lose attraction for their partners because they can't compete with porn. I mean, how unfair is that? Yes. Right? There could be less desire for romance. I'll say it again. Pornography abuse burns off the nerve endings of sensuality in relationships. Less touching, holding, kissing, caressing. So if I'm watching porn, you know, maybe I don't notice the waves in my wife's hair. If I'm watching porn, we hold hands less, perhaps. So pornography abuse can deaden the vibrancy of our partners, our wives, and our marriages. I mean, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, it dims the way you feel. For me, it dims the way I feel if I'm waking up.
That's right.
Like, oh, my first thought sometimes is, if I'd looked at pornography the day before, it's like, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. I think I can not do it. You know, it's like, but you're always in this war, you know, it puts you always in like this battlefield.
It's like being hooked up to an IV drip of shame. And for not every guy, right? We're not talking about the casual use. We're talking about the compulsive use. And the other thing you tend to see over time, the guys that end up abusing pornography, porn and masturbation just become the preferred sexual outlet. And shame and secrecy and guilt become the norm. And because of that shame, so many guys, especially our young guys, are not dating. They've given up on dating. They're not actually having physical sex. I read a stat not too long ago that 1 out of 3 men under the age of 30 have not had sex in the last year.
1 out of 3 men?
1 out of 3 men under the age of 30 have not had sex in the last year.
But some of those men could be 10 years old or whatever.
I would imagine, I didn't look at the fine print of the thing. I would imagine it probably told me age 18 to 30.
Oh, they should say that then.
They should probably, yeah, good point.
Because if it's like this 5-year-old has an you're like, yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, we'll fact check this right now.
Anyway, recent data from the General Social Survey indicates that nearly 1/4 of young adults aged 18 to 29 reported having no sex in the past year, looking specifically at younger single men under 30. The rate of sexlessness can climb closer to 1/3. And then, bro, you know what happens? I think when you dim the men in a culture, anything can come in there.
Sure.
It's like when you dim the warriors who are standing at the gate, anything can slip in there, you know? And then they come in and now they got the women on OnlyFans because they're not in a relationship and there's not like a provider and there's not like a leader and you're not part of like we're doing this together, right? And then like everything's for sale. It's like, what's for sale now, you know? And I don't mean that. It's not none of that's negativity at anybody. It's just like, you know, it's just like, I don't know. Do I sound judgmental? I'm just kind of looking at it. I think it all makes me just like, I don't know. I feel like we're stronger than this, but we are in a war.
Well, I think what you're highlighting and what I'm hearing you say is so many of our young men in particular, they lack confidence in themselves. They're full of shame, right? They don't have they can't handle rejection, right? The world needs healthy, strong men. And pornography abuse is emasculating our men today.
That's what I'm saying.
That was definitely the case for me. 100%. But here's the deal. And I need your listeners to hear this right now.
Yeah, amen. Because I don't want to get stuck in the dour parts of it and that things are not healable because that's not the truth.
That's not the truth. The truth is it is time to reclaim your damn manhood.
Type shit.
You know, seriously.
No, I feel you.
Enough is enough.
Right.
Enough is enough right now. There's a cesspool out there that are killing our men today. So let me tell you, in my own journey, when I got the right type of help, I was able to work through these sexual dysfunction. When I got the right type of help, I was able to be in a healthy relationship where I felt good about myself as a partner, as a man. So it's not just like Steve stops watching porn and everything fixes itself.
Right.
Don't work that way.
Right.
It's a process of retraining your brain, your body, and your relationship to intimacy.
Amen.